Hello, hello. It's Alicia Jones here from Alicia Jones Healthy Living, and today I am coming on live. It's been such a long time since I've done a live, and I think today is the perfect day to do it. If you're coming from Canada, then it is your Thanksgiving, which usually means a lot of eating, a lot of feeling like a stuffed turkey, and what ends up happening is I get an influx of calls and emails the day after Thanksgiving saying, okay, I'm really ready now to feel like myself again before we hit next holiday season. And I really feel bloated. I feel like I've got belly fat. I'm struggling to lose the belly fat. Maybe the tactics that you're throwing out there really aren't working for you, or you are not really trying. You're just like, it's futile. I'm going through menopause right now. It's really hard to get those consistent results. So I wanted to talk about one big mistake I see when women are trying to lose belly fat, and it's actually sabotaging their results. If I share this with you, then as you go on to the next few days or few weeks, you can start to avoid this and do other things instead. And that's what I want to talk about, what you can do to actually get results, to release the belly fat, to start to feel like yourself again, because that is so important, not only physically, but to reduce brain fog, to feel light in your body, to be able to run upstairs and feel at ease. So it's a whole thing, not just related to the way you look, but also how you feel. So one of the big mistakes that I see women make is called the cutback phenomenon. So the cutback phenomenon means they either have decided they're going to cut way back on calories in order to lose weight, or they're cutting back on a major nutrient. That major nutrient tends to be carbohydrates. So if you're going through the cutback phenomenon, right now we can shift that. This is why it does not work over 50. First and foremost, your nutrient needs increase with age. Some of it has to do with absorption. You're not able to absorb certain nutrients like B12, for example. Carbohydrate metabolism does shift. Fiber needs tend to increase, or they need to be met in order to help release belly fat. So if you're really cutting back on calories with hopes to lose weight, it might have worked in your 20s and 30s, but oftentimes it is not going to work to help get to those nutrient needs that you need to balance out hormones, release the belly fat, and feel your strongest, most optimal self. So you cannot cut back on the calories too much. Of course, you cannot eat 3,000 calories or 8,000 calories and expect to lose the belly fat. It doesn't work that way. But what ends up happening is people tend to way undereat, and then they can sustain it for a little while. They get really hungry because their body is not meeting those nutrient needs. A lot of times hormones are out of whack. So cortisol is a big hormone that I see many women, when you undereat, basically you elevate your cortisol level, which is your stress hormone. When your cortisol level is elevated, you actually store more belly fat as well, because it's an easy energy source for the body. So you really need to focus in on eating enough to balance out your hormones, to reduce that stress cortisol levels, to sleep better, which then in turn also helps you reduce the belly fat. The other thing in the cutback phenomenon is that when many women are trying to cut back on calories, they tend to choose carbohydrates to do this. And they say, oh, well, it's because I always feel better and less bloated afterwards. It's true that carbohydrates, they hold on to more water molecules than any other one of the, like for example, proteins, for example, or fats. So you end up holding in more water, but that's not fat loss. That's not belly fat loss. You might feel a little bit less bloated at first, but the thing is, the second that you eat a carb again, you're going to feel bloated and horrible again, and then you're going to blame the carb and think that it was the carbohydrate that was doing all of the bloating and feeling horrible, when in reality, you need carbohydrates to reduce belly fat. And in fact, if part of the issue is feeling bloated or brain fog, you need carbohydrates as your easy energy source in order to help you feel more sharp, more energized, and yes, reduce the belly fat. So you've got to have carbs. So if you're thinking to yourself, I got that covered. I eat a lot of vegetables, so I don't need to eat all of these other carbohydrates, whole grains, for example, or beans and legumes. And I definitely don't need to eat the potatoes and the bananas because they're so starchy for me. I can eat the veggies and I'm fine. The truth is that the highest fiber content is found in legumes. It's found in beans. It's found in these starchier vegetables as well. So if you're cutting them out and only getting your carbohydrates from vegetables, you might be doing yourself a huge disservice by greatly reducing the amount of fiber that you eat. And guess what? Fiber content, it helps you release belly fat. One of the big things that it does is it actually holds on in, I'm going to get a little bit graphic here, but when you go to the bathroom, it pulls out all of the excess estrogen before you poop it out. So you need to make sure that you're eating the proper fiber content for your age and stage of life in order to balance out hormones to release belly fat. The other big important thing is that you've got to make sure that you're getting in resistant starches and carbohydrates, which tends to be found in potatoes, for example, bananas, and once again in beans and legumes. Oftentimes people cut these out completely, thinking to themselves, okay, well, these are the starchiest ones, I'm gonna lose the weight. The thing is that you're not feeding your gut microbiome when you don't have these starchier carbohydrates in. Gut microbiome shifts with age. This is basically the healthy bacteria in your body that helps you release belly fat, helps balance out hormones, and it actually helps with your carbohydrate metabolism, which means the healthier your gut microbiome, the more you're able to metabolize more carbs. Yay, right? So you've got to make sure that if you right now are following this cutback tactic of cutting back on calories or cutting back on a specific nutrient, that you are still hitting all of the valuable nutrient needs that you need, fiber needs that you need, and calorie needs that you need. And that might not just be what you're eating at this time if that's what you're trying to do to cut back. So how are you going to know for sure? How are you going to know if you are hitting your fiber needs, if all you're eating is veggies, or if you cut back a lot on calories? And how do you know you're going to hit those calorie needs? Well, try logging. Just log for a week. See what happens when you log for a week. Are you hitting your fiber content needs? Fiber content needs are about 25 to 30 grams of fiber a day. So are you hitting them with whatever you're doing right now? Are you hitting your nutrient needs right now? Are you hitting your calorie and food needs right now? If not, you can make that simple tweak right away. And that is where the magic happens. You get to release the belly fat so much more easily, and you can actually have a tactic that feels doable for you. So if you'd like to learn exactly how much nutrients you need to eat, and if you'd like to discover exactly how to exercise for your age and stage of life to release belly fat, to increase your strength and feel your best over 50, the wait list for Over 50 Fit and Fabulous, that is my signature program. It is inside of the description, wherever that may be. So come on and join us. We are opening the doors in 2 short weeks, and I cannot wait to see you inside of there. There's so many great tips and tricks so that you can make this experience both filling and at the same time you can meet your nutrient needs and get results on your terms. I'm so excited to share them all. Okay, I'll see you very soon. Bye.